Hi everyone, so today I have an exciting announcement. We are going to be doing the Hello Seasons readathons. Those are 4 readathons that will be going on throughout the year that will welcome all of the different seasons. So instead of just simply having a Hello 2022 readathon as we did once a year, we are going to have a bunch of little readathons throughout the year. And those will be to welcome all of the different seasons. Now, because the northern and southern hemispheres are opposite, we'll just ask that you choose the prompts that are relevant for the season that you are going to be welcoming. So for instance, in March, those in the northern hemisphere will be welcoming spring, and those in the southern hemisphere will be welcoming autumn. And that will sort of explain how we named the different mini readathons throughout the year. So when are these happening? So the Hello Spring Autumn Readathon is going to happen in March 19th to 20th. The Hello Summer Winter Readathon will happen in June, from June 25th to 26th. The Hello Autumn Spring Readathon will be in September between the 17th and 18th. And then the Hello Winter Summer Readathon is going to be in December. And yes, we will have reading sprints. So reading sprints will always be on the Saturday and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Saturdays and 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. Now these will all be 48-hour readathons, Saturdays and Sundays, but please just make sure that you approach this in a efficient but kind of chill way. So don't worry about staying up overnight in order to complete your prompts. We want you to stay as healthy as possible. So make sure to take breaks when you need them, and also to sleep and exercise as regular. Now, the hosts may change depending on who is available throughout the year, but we have Abigail, Kristen, Angela, Kayla, Ruby, Bianca, Kiara, and Laura. I will include in the posters who is going to be available to host for the different readathons. Alright, so what kind of prompts do we have? Well, we have 2 activity prompts, 2 Bookstagram prompts, and 1 activity prompt for each one of the readathons. In order to join the reading sprints, then just please go to my YouTube channel, which you're on right now. As of Wednesday, so as of the time that I am posting this, I should have the live shows scheduled, or will have them scheduled by the end of the day. I will also be posting the times. We will have a Twitter as well. Our Twitter will have all of our information. And also we have a link tree as well, and I'll have that in the description box below. The way that the link tree is organized, it is organized at first introducing you to what the Hello Seasons readathons are, and then it will have links to the upcoming or current readathon that is happening. And I will just have one of those readathons at a time so that you know exactly which one to join. So where can you find all of the posters and the prompt cards? They will all be in our Google Drive folder, and you can access that through our link tree below and through all of the links that we have for you. I'll also post links in the Instagram stories. That is where I spend a lot of my time. I will try and get a little bit better with Twitter this year, but you will be able to access everything through the link tree, the Google Drive, or through Instagram stories and Twitter. So now I want to talk about our upcoming readathon, which is the Hello Spring Autumn Readathon. So in terms of the dates will be Saturday, March 19th and Sunday, March 20th, with sprints at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, and then at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. So when you are participating in the reading sprints, that will be hosted through a YouTube live stream, and you can join the chat. If you haven't accessed reading sprints before, basically we just read for a specified amount of time. I like to do 30 minutes and then have a break in between. And usually when it has an event like one of these readathons and I have hosts, we will do quite a few reading sprints for the live streams. I'm usually good to stick around as long as people want to within reason, and in between I will have a couple of fun activities that we can do in between our reading. So here I will have all of the hosts for this readathon in particular. So it is called the Hello Spring Autumn readathon. So if you are welcoming spring in during the month of March, then use the spring prompts. And if you are welcoming in autumn during the month of March, then please use the autumn prompts. You do not have to use both, just whichever one is relevant for you. All right, so let's talk about the spring prompts. So I live in the Northern Hemisphere and will be welcoming spring in for the month of March. So I will be doing the spring prompts. So the reading prompts are as follows: a book with fresh starts and a book with a pastel cover. So I will give a couple of recommendations first before diving into what I'm going to be picking. So the first book that I have is called The Switch, and that is by Beth O'Leary. And so this has a pastel cover, and it also is about fresh new starts and beginnings. It is a contemporary and a romance as well, and it's a whole lot of fun. So we have two main characters here. We have Eileen and Lena. So Eileen is looking to have a new romance. She would like that fresh start. And Lena, her granddaughter, she would like a break from her work environment. So basically what they end up doing is they end up switching places. It reminds me a little bit of The Parent Trap or some kind of show like that, or The Holiday. And I thought that both the audiobook and physical book were great. So I recommend this for both prompts. By the way, the prompts are stackable. And so I have another recommendation, and this fulfills both prompts. This is A Pho Love Story by Lone Lee. So you have Linh and Bao, and both of their families own Vietnamese restaurants, and they are competing and feuding with one another. But at the same time, Linh and Bao, they start to fall for each other. And it's just a really cute story that goes into their developing relationship. So I generally think of romance as a fresh beginning, so I would definitely count this book as both prompts. So these are my two recommendations, and I will also here and here add a few more recommendations for you to look into. All right, and now for what I'm going to be reading. So for me, I have two books. One is a YA contemporary, and the other is a graphic novel. So the first book that I would like to read, it fulfills the fresh beginnings, and so that is Tokyo Ever After by Amiko Jean. And this was a Reese YA book club pick. So in this book, we have our main character, who is Izumi. And so she is Japanese American. So she discovers that her father is actually the Crown Prince of Japan. From there, she travels to Japan and finds out that living the life of a princess is not exactly what she thought it would be. I'm really looking forward to this. It kind of is giving me a little bit of The Princess Diaries vibes, and I'm not sure if that's what it will end up being, but I am definitely looking forward to this one. So now for my book with a pastel cover. This is Sailor Moon Volume 5. So I'm going to be reading the other volumes in between. This is the volume with Venus on the cover, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of these. I have 5 of these larger Sailor Moon mangas, and so I can't wait. I believe in this one we may be introduced to even more Sailor Scouts. My favorite Sailor Scout is Pluto, but I do like Sailor Venus quite a bit as well, and this is just such a gorgeous book. And here's an illustration. It shows Sailor Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. I'm a huge fan. I love the movies, the anime, the manga, everything. So those are my 2 book choices. And if you want to see the other books that I'm going to be reading during the month of March, then definitely look out for my TBR game that will be coming out. I just don't know when. All right, and also for the spring prompts, we have 2 Bookstagram prompts. So your readathon TBR and spring book recommendations. So for these, you can make a reel, you can make a IGTV, you can do a post. However you want to participate is fine by me. So for this readathon in particular, make sure you use the hashtag HelloSpringAutumnReadathon so that we can find all of your amazing posts, and also tag us if you would like us to share it. And for spring, we have one activity prompt, which is treat yourself with something just for you. For treating yourself, that can be anything. It can be, it could be making your favorite dessert, maybe using like a new facial mask, reading with the sunlight coming through your window. There's so many different possibilities, and I'm really excited to see what you come up with. Now, in terms of the autumn prompts, so we have, again, reading, bookstagram, and activity prompts. So if you are welcoming autumn during March, then please use this one here. So the reading prompts, there are two, a book with cozy vibes and a mystery. So I have a general recommendation for this prompt, which would be cozy mysteries. And there are so many, I'm just going to add some right here for you to take a look at. One cozy mystery book, which is part of a series that you can read completely on its own, is called A Tale of Two Tabbies. It is just the cutest. It is by Kathy Daly, and so she writes a bunch of different cozy mysteries. I definitely recommend it. I recommend any cozy mystery that has cats. So I have two books that are mysteries, but they're kind of mystery thriller. Monday's Not Coming is more of a mystery thriller, and then Untamed Shore is more of a mystery, I would say, with some thriller as well. So let's start with Untamed Shore by Silvia Moreno Garcia. So in this book we have Viridiana, and so she is just completely enamored by Hollywood. She lives in Baja California, and so she lives by a beach where there are like a bunch of fishermen nearby. There are some American tourists that come in to Baja California that she meets, and quickly she becomes entangled in their web of mysteries and deceit, and it is very thrilling. I really loved it. It is a mystery. It does not have cozy vibes though, so this would be for just like the mystery. So the other book that I have is Monday Is Not Coming, and this is by Tiffany D. Jackson. So in this book, the narrator, her friend Monday, goes missing, and no one seems to really be strongly investigating what happened to her, where she is, and even up until a year later. So she is wondering like what exactly has happened to Monday. So our main character Claudia, she is not giving up, and she is determined to find out exactly what happened to her friend. And this is definitely a book that you will keep sort of flipping through and wanting to discover exactly what happened to Monday. And it was like a 5-star read. It was so great. I would say that for all books that I mentioned, look at the content warnings ahead of time, but definitely for these, the thriller and the mystery sort of books, look at those content warnings ahead of time. And I'm not sure of books that have completely cozy vibes throughout, but I will try and look for some and put them here for you. So for the autumn prompts, we have two Bookstagram prompts, readathon, TBR, and autumn goals or bucket list. So again, however you want to share those. And then for an activity, we have read while drinking your favorite autumn drink. Let me know in the comments exactly what your favorite autumn drink is. And I would have to say that mine is definitely apple cider for sure. Pumpkin spice latte, I think is good if I make it at home. That's pretty much my favorite. And again, all of the links will be down below. Make sure to go through the link tree and find exactly what you are looking for. Let us know what you are looking forward to reading. We will have TBR cards. We will have checklists for all of the different prompts. And yeah, I think that this will be a really fun way for us to sort of build community over the year. If you have any questions, we have an FAQ, and we also have a question submission form that you can access through the link tree. Thank you so much for watching. I am very excited to see exactly what you pick out. Don't forget to check out all of the different hosts. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye!